dangerous really is Diddy? Now, he's been denied bail twice, we know, by two different judges. This week, his legal team, by the way, submitted a notice of appeal to the U.S. District Court trying to reverse those rulings and get him out. He's being held in federal jail, the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, and he maintains his innocence.
During his third attempt at getting bail, Diddy's behavior reportedly angered the presiding judge. His attitude was perceived as dismissing and arrogant, prompting a stern response. The judge reminded him of the seriousness of the accusations, which involve significant criminal allegations like trafficking. Despite Diddy's high-profile status, the court expects appropriate decorum. Could Diddy's behavior be worsening his situation?
Back to Court TV Live, we are following new developments in the case of the hip-hop mogul who is facing RICO charges in New York, Sean P. Diddy Combs. Court TV has just confirmed that the family of Tupac Shakur is investigating a potential link between the murder of Tupac and Sean Diddy Combs.
A court notice on Thursday disclosed that Diddy's case had been reassigned to Judge Aon Subramanian. Judge Biden nominated Subramanian in 2022, and he assumed his position in 2023. Prior to this, the Romanian worked as a clerk for Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg and at the law firm Sussman Godfrey, specializing in complex civil litigation. No explanation for the judge reassignment was given.
Anybody did any of these things non-consensually. What do you make of that?
I make of that as being a big flaw already in the government's case, which the defense was quick to point out. Even if he was engaging in this alleged conduct, there was no allegation or no statement in that indictment saying that any of these alleged victims or alleged witnesses willingly participated in some of these acts that people find offensive, that are sound to be offensive. And that's a very important part of the case. What was the consent? But there are enough charges here where outside of what the alleged victims are going to say about how he was using the resources allegedly from his enterprises, his businesses, his well-known Bad Boy Entertainment, his clothing line resources, his liquor line resources. Allegedly, there were funds used from that resources to engage in this alleged prostitution activity across state lines. And that's why it's a federal case, because it's across straight lines. So there are some problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page...
Combs bailed due to worries about violence and witness tampering, leading them to file an appeal of the ruling.
The Southern District of New York seems awfully confident about their ability to handle the scope and complexity of the case. But still, why do you think it took them so long for them to go after Combs, considering they allege his crimes have been going on for more than a decade?
My theory is that the government had an easy time putting together this final prosecution because of all the civil actions existing against Sean Combs right now. The case with Cassie, which that video was shown, his former girlfriend, where he was seen assaulting her. It looked like certainly that he was assaulting her on video. I think the government and investigators were able to accumulate all this easy evidence that was just handed to
Diddy's third attempt at gaining bail was met with strong resistance from the court, who stated major concerns regarding the accusations against him, including witness tampering and potential threats.
Breaking news, and you heard it here first. So, could third time be a charm? Diddy is assembling his legal dream team for a new bail attempt. This will be his third attempt, so Diddy is once again trying to get himself released on bond 2 weeks after he was arrested. And we're told he's building a powerhouse legal team to try and make it a reality. Well, new court documents show the rap mogul's lawyer filed to appeal the most recent order denying him bond. So the appeal will be his third formal attempt to secure his release from behind bars as he awaits trial. Well, sources close to Diddy tell TMZ that the rapper has added 2 more attorneys, Anthony Rico and Alexandra Shapiro, to the legal team working on his highly publicized criminal case. And for those of you wondering, Alexandria is not related to the famed defense attorney Robert Shapiro. And we're told Tony is known as one of the finest trial lawyers in the country. And Alexandria has been called one of the best appellant lawyers practicing today.
Despite his defense team's assertions that he posed no risk, the court remained unyielding, citing the seriousness of the allegations and the possibility of case tampering.
He is building his own dream team of sorts. So Diddy has been denied bail, and despite the A-lister's attorney promising Diddy would put up a $50 million bail package and have no female visitors outside of his family if the court allowed him to reside in his Miami home pending the trial. However, after hearing arguments from both the prosecution and the defense, U.S. District Judge Andrew Carter turned down Diddy's request for bail and stated, "The government has proven the defendant is a danger." He is, and we all know it. So I just can't wait till they literally throw him in prison forever. Anyway, I'm Pina, and this is awesome news.
When talking about the case before pursuing any legal action, judges must first sort through the multiple charges and determine which are genuine accusations and which are possibly fabrications. Sherry Shepard emphasized how difficult this process may be. Shepard's insight shows how these distinctions can be muddled by the media and popular opinion. The sheer volume of cases against him could affect both public perception and the severity of any eventual legal repercussions. Treaty is facing over 100 lawsuits, a staggering number of claims ranging from physical misconduct to trafficking. These lawsuits have piled up, making it one of the most significant legal challenges in entertainment history. Do you think all allegations will be resolved?
As if things couldn't get any worse for embattled music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, today a prominent lawyer came forward saying he intends to file more than 100 different lawsuits from alleged victims.
Claims we intend to bring will include the following: violent sexual assault or rape, sexual abuse, facilitated sex with a controlled substance, false imprisonment, compelling prostitution, sexual misconduct, dissemination of video recordings, false imprisonment, sexual abuse.
Ariel Mitchell, an attorney for one of Diddy's victims, has made a strong indication that the rapper may face additional charges. Mitchell intimated that indictments were likely, which would give more weight to the continuing investigations into years-long allegations of abuse and human trafficking. Mitchell's remarks highlight the seriousness of the potential consequences for the music.
To anything else, why bring this lawsuit now? And does it have anything to do with the potential federal investigation happening right now?
So we brought our lawsuit because my client was injured by Mr. Combs, and she had been seeking counsel for some time now. She actually sought out counsel who we all know have cases, including Cassie's lawyers and some other lawyers, prior to seeking me out, just looking for representation for her claims. It just so happened to be that now we're at a place where it's essentially inevitable that Mr. Combs will have some level of indictment and face some criminal charges for all of the cases we now know to be public information.
The investigation into Diddy's activities was initially scheduled to wrap up by the end of the year, according to a federal investigator, but recent events have sped up the process. The intensity of the accusations and mounting evidence have sped up the investigation, potentially leading Diddy toward a trial earlier than anticipated.
Following the Diddy case at all?
When the raids went down, I was like, oh, they're working a large case. I figured it would probably be before the end of the year, but it was a little earlier than I thought.
What was he arrested for?
So the feds will take everything to a grand jury first and be like, we've got all of this. Is it more likely that this person did the things we're saying or not? Grand juries indict almost everyone, and then you can be arrested because you've been charged. They brought him into court and he's got his hands behind his back like he's cuffed, and he goes to sit down and just takes his hands out and puts them on the table. I'm like, you're not even cuffed, man.
The feds don't lose. Is that accurate?
The feds rarely lose. They pick and choose their cases very carefully.
And then he was denied for bail twice.
It's not a surprise. One of the charges has a no bail presumption. It means the assumption by the court is that you don't get bail. Really, it goes up to the defendant to prove that they deserve bail. And they had all his phones tapped.
Do you think those calls will be released to the public?
Not until this goes to trial.
You think it'll be televised like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial?
Sadly, the feds do not allow audio or video recording in court, but there's some great independent media outlets that go to court and live tweet out what's happening.
There was something about, like, he was on suicide watch.
That's standard, like every defendant. It's not because he said something, did something.
You talk about all this videotape that he had. I think there's a lot of speculation about who's next. How is the feds going to determine, like, who's just at a...
Professionals have weighed in on the probable penalties Diddy may face if convicted. The trafficking and other serious allegations he's up against hold the potential for life-altering effects, including long-term imprisonment.